2015, where 15 people cleared their GTT. The numbers have been steadily growing over the years, and this year is a landmark here where we have more than 100 people clearing their GTT test, and that does indeed.
देखी जाती है इस दिन की. Everybody waits for this day, क्योंकि साल में एक ही बार पूरे साल भर मेहनत करने के बाद जो लोग ये डेयर डेविल स्टंट बोलते हैं, हम डेयर डेविल स्टंट, 15 चम्मच शक्कर खाना, टू कंज्यूम 15 टीस्पून्स ऑफ. अब सब लोग बोलेंगे, थोड़ा सा बाजू में घुमाएंगे, बोलेंगे या तो आप इस साइड को, या तो आप या तो मैं, क्योंकि 50%. So फंडा इज वेरी सिंपल. आपके बगल में जो बैठा है, आप दोनों में से एक आदमी डिप्रेस्ड है.
So ladies and gentlemen, capturing the feeling of energy and the feeling of freedom, we have the freedom song.
May I be free, may you be free.
Freedom champions clearing their GTT, 107 of them this year, 70 also clearing IGT. I would invite our 20 kilo weight loss champions to
So everybody at FFD, we goes into the camera straight now. Yay!
This man is live wire absolutely. और जो ये कर रहे हैं, फिर जब इनके बारे में पता लगा तो इनके बारे में सारी खोजबीन जो थी वो सब नेट पे और ये सब देखा गया. नेचुरली किसी के बारे में आजकल पता लग जाता है तो गूगल आउट तो हो ही जाता है वो इंसान.
Should I get her to Dr. Tripathi? Oh, the one solution for all my questions, Dr. Tripathi, and I would love to come and see you.
And I am yet to see in my 36 years of active medical practice a medical team more dedicated than the one headed by our dear Dr. Tripathi.
Diabetes is reversible disorder, and that is the reason I once again request Dr. Tripathi to come out with a lot of publication that diabetes is a reversible disorder, and we have shown the data of last 4 years. Many of them are GTT free, they are not having even the IGT, and they are not on medication. And we have the real world data of thousands of the persons, more than 1600 data which you had shown, and it is really amazing, and I must say congratulate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
बाबूरामन देखने चला एक सपना.
आवे ना जावे, आवे ना जावे, मिटना कबहू कबहू, सबदा अनाहत भोगी अवधूता.
All the dignitaries sitting off the dais also, जो भी आज यहाँ आए हैं अपना समय निकाल के to be witnessing this beautiful event which is one of its kind in the world. Thank you for coming here, all of you.
Marines, I want you to listen to me.
Do you still want to meditate once? Okay, FFD way. और हृदय से थोड़ी थोड़ी ऊर्जाएं पीछे की ओर, little bit behind.
We had 398 who appeared for the glucose tolerance test, out of which 175 cleared IGT. थोड़ा धूल होने दो. 205 cleared GTT. And 18 are still trying, and wishing them good luck for the next year. So a strike rate of 95% of those who appeared for the glucose tolerance test cleared it, and that would not have been possible if they had not undergone all that training and support from the team of Freedom from Diabetes. Okay, so this evening we have many special guests who have come in our midst, who've taken out precious time. Chief guest this morning, Honorable Justice Madan Lokurji, appointed judge of the Supreme Court of India in June 2012 and retired in December 2018.
डॉक्टर अनिल लांबा जी, पेशे से आप चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैं.
Dr. Milind Watwe. He's been in the education and research at IISER in Pune.
डॉक्टर नीलिमा बेडेकर, आप फॉर्मर मेंबर हैं एकेडमिक काउंसिल की.
Dr. Rajesh Dhopeshwarkar. He's a consultant interventional cardiologist and electrophysiologist in Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital, Pune.
डॉक्टर अविनाश इग्नेशियस, आपने MD मेडिसिन किया है सेंट जॉन्स मेडिकल कॉलेज बैंगलोर से.
As they say ना that कौन यहाँ सिर्फ बातों से सीखा है, हर किसी को एक हादसे की ज़रूरत है. और जितने लोग ये स्टेज पे खड़े हैं, हादसे को नेगेटिवली मत लीजिए, बट हादसा ही था डायबिटीज़ होना. एंड देन FFD एंड डॉक्टर प्रमोद त्रिपाठी, इनकी तासीर तो ताबीज़ों जैसी है. FFD जिसको भी गले लगाता है, सारी डायबिटीज़ खींच लेता है.
झकास, बोले तो जबरदस्त जोश.
24 years of diabetics and last 1.5 year I'm enjoying life.
अरे सुनाई नहीं दिया सबसे, सब लोग 1 2 3 बोलेंगे. 32.
Felt very happy, and the most satisfying thing for me, for more than 10 years I was taking hypertension tablet. It was off within 1 month.
सेल्फ सुनील करोड़ी, FFD ज्वाइन करने के बाद चौथे दिन मेरे मेडिसिन सब बंद हो गए.
43 kg, Anand Pratap Singh ji. Whoa. 43 kgs.
Thank you so much. Being a pediatrician, being a doctor myself, I never believed that this could happen. I mean, this thing exists actually. Freedom from diabetes and obesity, thanks to both of you and the FFD team. Believe in your abilities, the change is inevitable.
Dr. Rajesh Dhopeshwarkar.
Life should be a celebration, isn't it?
Yes.
So we should celebrate even small things, and this is what I think one of the lessons what Dr. Pramod has been sharing with all of you.
We move on next. We'd like to hear from Dr. Avinash Ignatius.
It is an effort which is both what Dr. Pramod has guided, but it's also an effort which has been taken by you all and your family members who have supported you. So, and you champions are the ambassadors for all this, because you will set an example not just in your families but also for the public around you who will look at you and learn a lesson ki yes, medicines are secondary. First is diet and lifestyle, which is going to help you reduce medicines or stop medicines. वो बोलते हैं ना कि if you don't eat your food like medicine, then you'll have to eat medicine like food. And Dr. Pramod has shown the reverse. If you start eating food like medicine, then you will not have to eat medicine like food.
We'd like to hear from Dr. Nilima Bedekar, ma'am.
I'm really privileged and happy to be here. And Dr. Tripathi and his team has done a wonderful job. I just cannot congratulate more and more and more, and to all of you, all the prize winners and those who are still doing all the exercises. It's amazing to see how he has holistic approach. Being a medical doctor, you name it, he has yoga, he has Ayurveda, he has everything to his thing, and meditation. Just few minutes and we could understand what you are all doing. So it's really wonderful.
Next, we'd like to invite Dr. Milind Watwe, sir.
Sugar is only a symptom. Sugar is not central to diabetes. Increased sugar is only one of the 100 changes that take place in the body, right? So just suppressing sugar is not the cure for diabetes. And the mainstream medicine has been just doing that.
We also have Mr. Rahul Inamdar.
Very small achievement. He's only climbed Everest.
What is the population of the world? तो मैंने उसमें कितने समिट ईयर है तो वो समिट ईयर का परसेंटेज निकाला. इट वॉज 0.0007%. बट आज जब मैंने वही वर्ल्ड का पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 2022 दिसंबर निकाला और जो फ्रीडम फ्रॉम डायबिटीज, इंसुलेशन के बाहर आ गए, सब चीज़ों से बाहर आ गए, उसका परसेंटेज अगर मैं देख रहा था तो और कितने जीरो जुड़ गए हैं. सो यू ऑल आर अ रियल अचीवर, आई कैन से. यू नो, एवरेस्ट के भी बहुत ऊपर है.
Honorable Justice Madan Lokulji.
Thank you very much. You know, as a lawyer and as a judge, the first question that everybody asks a lawyer and a judge, they ask, what is the evidence that you have? And today I can say the evidence is right here in front of me. I mean, all of you have done so much and have achieved so much that it is remarkable what FFD has achieved for you and what you have achieved for FFD.
Gratitude and a big thank you to each and every one of you for being a part of this wonderful celebration. Thank you so much.
Freedom.
Namaskar, Suswagatam, and a very good evening, good morning, good afternoon to each and every one of you joining from whichever corner of the world to experience and witness live this mega festival of freedom, Muktotsav, in its 8th edition, 2023. Indeed, it is a festival that celebrates freedom, reversal from obesity, from diabetes, and of course, some awe-inspiring and amazing stories of warriors who have overcome all odds and various challenges to emerge as champions. This is an opportunity we use year after year to inspire and motivate thousands of diabetics across the world to know that reversal, freedom, remission, and transformation is not only possible, but is a reality. That a life 2.0 is waiting for you to be healthier, fitter, and happier. Since its inception in 2016, Muktotsav has seen many people attend the program. Diabetics, their families, we've had renowned doctors, politicians, businessmen, community leaders, and we have had national and international stalwarts in the fraternity of the medicine who have attended and graced the Muktotsav year after year. We've had Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. Roy Taylor, and Dr. Neil Bernard as chief guests in the last 3 years. And in the coming year, that's in the coming offline Muktotsav that's happening on the 10th of December, we will have Dr. Peter Schwartz, the president-elect of the International Diabetes Federation, who will be traveling all the way from Germany to grace the occasion as the chief guest. And today, in the online edition that we have, very special in its own way, we have distinguished guests who will be inspiring and giving you informative talks regarding diabetes reversal. We have none other than Dr. Jason Fung, respected nephrologist and New York Times best-selling author who has popularized intermittent fasting and fasting the world over. We have Professor Akhtar Hussain, president of the International Diabetes Federation, Dr. Rakesh Sahay, prominent endocrinologist and president-elect of Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India, and also Dr. Banshi Sabu, who's been an eminent diabetologist and the ex-president of the RSSDI. Well, we also have a lot of awards being given out today in various categories. And let me tell you, this is going to leave you absolutely amazed and inspired of this awesome journey that they have done. And Freedom from Diabetes uses this platform of Muktotsav to recognize and salute their indomitable spirit, their relentless efforts, their unwavered determination, and their unflinching dedication to achieve what they have and emerge as champions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get moving with this exciting online event. We have an offline event too, but today's online event has its own charm and it has its special guests and some special things happening. So before we move ahead, I would like to introduce the man behind it all. A doctor, innovator, healer, motivational speaker, and above all, a humanist. Dr. Pramod Tripathi is a holistic diabetes specialist, the pioneer of diabetes reversal in India, and the founder of Freedom from Diabetes. Armed with an MBBS from the BJ Medical College, Pune, a very renowned medical institute here, he holds a professional diploma in diabetes management from the Nanavati Hospital, Mumbai, an advanced diploma in Yoga and Ayurveda, and advanced NLPK practitioner, a recipient of very many prestigious awards, some among which include the Forbes India Top 200 Companies with Global Business Potential received in 2023, Top 50 Healthcare Companies Award, IFAH Dubai in 2019, the Pharma Ratna Award 2019, the Best Diabetes Care Award 2019, and the Most Popular Doctor Wokhart Foundation 2016. And I think there are thousands of diabetics will agree about the Most Popular Doctor Award. Well, he has innovated and perfected, and hold on, there's so much more I would like to talk about you, so give me a minute more. He has innovated and perfected an integrated protocol going beyond just the medicine part, okay, over the last 10 years, and has helped thousands of diabetics across the world to make freedom, remission, and reversal a reality. Well, backed and armed with a team of 160 at the Freedom from Diabetes, including doctors, diet experts, exercise experts. We have inner transformation experts. We have a research team, and of course, the whole backup team of the administrative team, mentors, WhatsApp group managers, and so many more who are so dedicatedly and passionately working to help in this mission. So the man with the Midas touch, a messiah for many. It gives me a great pleasure and honor to invite Dr. Pramod Tripathi.
Thank you, Dr. Duria. As always, supercharged, super energized, super powerful. She happens to be our, I think, third or fourth doctor since 2015 on board and takes care of all the award ceremonies offline and online for Muktotsav, and is the most sought after healer by herself and connector at the residential program, for which 102 batches are done and 103rd is on its way. So Dr. Duria has been with FFD and we are so delighted that she is a part of our team. So supercharged, so super powerful, always taking care of these very, very important events. So thanks, Dr. Duria, for being there. I'm just going to take everyone into today's focus, which was broadly covered by you, but just repeating for the sake of clarity that we will be hearing an amazing pre-recorded talk by none other than Dr. Jason Fung on the deeper reasons for diabetes and related disorders. First, it's a 32-minute talk followed by 100 plus awards in different categories, and it's such a joy to felicitate each and every person who has taken such crazy efforts to break away from diabetes and hypertension and cholesterol and has become a phenomenal athlete, created weight loss, and there are very, very super special awards also that you should watch out for. And towards the end, we want this entire event to become an inspiration for many more such champions to become in 2024 also and many years to come. So that's today's focus very quickly. We are delighted, as already Dr. Duria has mentioned, to have Dr. Jason Fung. He couldn't make it live today because of a busy schedule, and Professor Akhtar Hussain, who is the president of International Diabetes Federation, which has 240 diabetes organizations from 160 countries under it, and we've got a nice pre-recorded good wishes and testimony from him. And we've got the president-elect of RSSDI, Dr. Rakesh Sahay joining in live by 7 p.m. and Dr. Banshi Shabuji, who's been a force in itself for integrating all the diabetologists, endocrinologists, and doing a lot of research through RSSDI, which is the paramount research society of study of diabetes in India. So we've got some amazing chief guests for today. We are very grateful to Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn for being with us last year from Ohio, the #1 heart reversal doctor. Extremely grateful to Dr. Roy Taylor, who joined us from UK in 2021. And his research has actually shaken up the entire world on how 15% or 15 kg weight loss can create a big shift. Fatty liver and liver fat inside pancreas dissolving can create remission. And before that, in 2020, we had Dr. Neil Bernard joining in from US, who's been a big proponent of the vegan diet and how that impacts the intramyocellular fat and creates a big shift. And each one of them gave such amazing insights that I'm sure people are looking forward to Dr. Jason Fung's insight, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's insight on nitric oxide and its reversal on heart disease is still remembered by participants. And let me take this opportunity to introduce this wonderful nephrologist and best-selling author of New York Times, Dr. Jason Fung. He is a pioneer of intermittent fasting and has popularized it through his book, The Complete Guide to Fasting and the Obesity Code. People literally have followed the videos and benefited. He's also the director of the non-profit organization Public Health Collaboration and pioneers contribution to patient-centered healthcare. His book on diabetes code, Life in the Fasting Lane, and all these four have been New York Times bestseller. And we are going to get straight away into the informative talk first by Dr. Jason Fung, as we usually do in any online format. Let's learn a little bit more than what we already know about diabetes reversal, metabolic syndrome reversal, straight through the mouth of Dr. Jason Fung now.
Okay, so thanks very much. What I'm going to talk about today is sort of type 2 diabetes, what it is and how to understand it so that you can sort of reverse it. And we'll sort of get back to some basics. This is a bit of a more technical talk, but there's two sort of phases of type 2 diabetes that people talk about. So there's the sort of insulin resistant stage at the beginning, and this is the Whitehall study, which took people with type 2 diabetes and they had archived blood for sort of 14 years before the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. And they looked at these people and said, well, what's different about them compared to the people that didn't get type 2 diabetes? And what you can see is that the fasting glucose in the people who didn't have diabetes, it sort of stays stable because they never got the type 2 diabetes. But in the people who did get type 2 diabetes, there's sort of two slopes. You see the first initial part from about 12, 13 years up to about 2 years prior to the diagnosis. What you see is this stage of insulin resistance. And that's where the fasting glucose starts to go up a little bit, but the body produces more insulin, so you have both hyperinsulinemia as well as insulin resistance, and that keeps the glucose down. At a point just before the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, or just before, the insulin secretion doesn't keep up. And mind you, it's not that insulin levels are low. They're actually very high, but they're not as high as they used to be. And that's called beta cell dysfunction. And as you lose that sort of compensation, blood glucose goes up very high. And that's when it goes and becomes something called the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. And that's called beta cell dysfunction. And that's thought because the beta cell in the pancreas is thought to sort of burn out. And so you can see if you look at the fasting insulin that this is really a continuum. That is for going from a normal lean person to obesity to type 2 diabetes and so on, you have higher and higher levels of insulin. So that's the hyperinsulinemia, which is really the same thing as the insulin resistance. And this is just to show you what the insulin levels do as you progress along that sort of continuum. That is, this is the normal situation where glucose and insulin are sort of in lockstep. And then as you go from obesity to early diabetes, what you see is that there's very high rise in insulin in these dark circles. And that's what keeps the glucose from going up too high. As this insulin starts to fall, it's still higher than normal, but because there's less of this compensation, the glucose goes up. And that's why some people used to say that this was a chronic and progressive disease because they said, well, the pancreatic beta cell is burning out, and as it burns out, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And so therefore, it's chronic and progressive. This is actually just a big lie. It's not actually true. And everybody who deals with type 2 diabetes knew it wasn't true. And yet, up to about 2018 or so, the American Diabetes Association would tell people that this is the case. That is, for most people, type 2 diabetes is a progressive disease. But it's clearly not true because if you think about it, everybody, patients, nurses, doctors, everybody knew that if you lost weight, that type 2 diabetes would usually get better or even go away completely. So it's actually a disease that's reversible. It's just that we weren't using the right treatments. That is, we weren't getting people to lose weight, and therefore we weren't influencing the natural course of type 2 diabetes. And in fact, that's why they had to change. In 2021, the American Diabetes Association then had criteria for remission. And that meant that if this was in fact a reversible disease, something that hadn't really been in the sort of mind set of doctors until about 2020, 2021, something like that. So it's very, very new, this idea that you can reverse type 2 diabetes. I've been actually talking about it since about 2013, 2014. Diabetes Canada, of course, up until 2023, kept telling people that it was a progressive lifelong disease. So the point is that this is actually a disease that can be reversed. And it's very, very easy to prove because there's lots of treatments that reverse type 2 diabetes. The first one, for example, that that's been well studied is bariatric surgery. So if you have type 2 diabetes and you do bariatric surgery, this was from 1992, so that's like 30 years ago. We had data that the blood glucose would fall almost immediately, and some of the responses were extremely long-lived. So if you do, weight loss surgery, then before a significant weight is lost, like within a month, the blood glucose would simply just go right down, and sometimes it stayed down. And of course, this was well established in 2012, so more than 10 years ago. What you see is that the Roux-en-Y bypass and sleeve gastrectomy would cause you to be able to stop most of your diabetic medications. The body mass index went down compared to medical therapy where there was no change. So as you get off of the diabetes and your A1C goes down, of course, that is remission as defined by the American Diabetes Association now. So you could put this disease into remission, and but it wasn't through taking those medications, the insulin and so on. Without surgery, if you just do a gastric banding, you can see the same thing. So you could reverse that type 2 diabetes. If you look at the fasting glucose before surgery and after surgery, you could go right down, and it would go back into the normal range. And this has been well known. Bariatric surgery was one way you could certainly do it. Diet also actually had a slightly better effect. So if you look at some of the diets that they put people on before bariatric surgery, which was a very, very low calorie, low carbohydrate diet, people actually lost more weight even compared to the surgery. And their blood glucose actually dropped more than surgery. The second thing is fasting. So fasting is simply a period of time where you don't eat. And this is not a new treatment. In fact, Elliot Jocelyn talked about it in 1916. So that's more than 100 years ago. And he said that, in fact, it was so effective that he wrote in 1916 that the treatment of diabetes with temporary periods of undernutrition, it's so effective with fasting, that probably didn't even need a study. They said it would be acknowledged by all. Of course, at the time, they didn't differentiate between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, which is very important because, of course, type 1 diabetes is very, people are very underweight. But nevertheless, this was a case report I wrote where you could use intermittent fasting for type 2 diabetes, and in fact, people would reverse their type 2 diabetes very quickly. Not very hard to understand. If you don't eat, you'll lose weight. If you lose weight, your diabetes can go away. In fact, this was a number of people who they had profiled on that, and you can see as they lost weight, that type 2 diabetes got better, and intermittent fasting could play a big role in that. Very low carbohydrate diets can do exactly the same thing. And in fact, this has been well established. So this is from the American Diabetes Association, published in 2020. This is the this sort of nutrition consensus report. So their scientific report from the American Diabetes Association. And what they said is that if you lower the overall carbohydrate intake for individuals' diabetes, that gives you it has the most evidence. That is, it's not some kind of a fad diet. Reducing carbohydrates for type 2 diabetics has more scientific evidence than any other diet. That's basically what they're saying. Again, not very difficult to understand because we know that carbohydrates as a macronutrient raises blood glucose more than fat or proteins. Why? Because carbohydrates are glucose. So if you look at bread and rice and potatoes, they're long chains of glucose. And if you eat glucose and break it down quickly and absorb it, your blood glucose goes up. So not very hard to understand why cutting down those foods that raise your blood glucose might improve your blood glucose. It's very, very simple. And of course, it works. And that's what the consensus report basically said. Dr. Unwin, of course, published his own experience looking at this over 6 years. And what he found was that if you simply advise people to do a low carbohydrate diet, he actually put almost half of his patients into a drug-free remission state. If they had pre-diabetes, it could be up to 93% of them into a drug-free remission state. And there was no sort of threshold, that is the people with the highest A1Cs, benefited just as much as the people with the lowest A1Cs, that you can push them all down. So what we see is that there are treatments, in fact, that cause reversal of the type 2 diabetes. That is bariatric surgery, intermittent fasting, low carbohydrate diets. And yet, if you look at a lot of the way that we treat diabetes, we know that things get worse. If you treat people a lot of insulin, sulfonylurea, some of the old drugs, if you use a lot of low-fat, high-carbohydrate diets, again, if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, you're eating those very foods that will raise your blood glucose the most. So in those cases, we see that the type 2 diabetes gets worse. And yet for decades, the current treatment strategies were all directed towards here instead of what we knew could actually reverse type 2 diabetes. So why were those treatments successful? And you have to understand two sort of key concepts, that is underfill versus overflow, and looking at the blood glucose versus the glucose in the whole body. And let me explain what I mean. So this is the way a lot of people think about type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. That is, this is a schematic. You have a cell here. You have a certain amount of glucose in the cell. You have glucose in the blood, and you have insulin. So it's basically like a lock and a key. If you have insulin, it basically goes to the insulin receptor and acts like a key, opens up a gate, which is the GLUT4 receptor, and then GLUT4 allows the glucose from the outside to go in. So it's, this is sort of like a gate. Insulin acts like a key. You open the gate, the glucose is now able to go inside. Insulin resistance is where you see that there's the normal key, which is the insulin, plenty of keys, and there's a lot of glucose on the outside, but for some reason, it's not being able to get in. And the question is why? Where is this malfunction? And the idea is that insulin resistant is something like, maybe there's like a piece of gum in the lock, right? And so therefore, if you have the key, it still doesn't open the gate, and therefore all this glucose goes outside. And then, so you get this insulin resistance, and then this causes you to produce more insulin in order to try and brute force this glucose into the cell, because inside the cell, you have a situation of internal starvation, because the glucose is outside, it can't go inside. Well, you're starving inside, there's no energy. But after 50, 60 years of research, people couldn't agree what's causing this insulin resistance. Like, what is it? Is it some kind of toxin? Is it something environmental? Is it genetic? What is it? It can't be genetic, because we know that the incidence of type 2 diabetes is rising very quickly. So the question is, what is causing this? And is this the right framework to be thinking about type 2 diabetes? If you think about this internal starvation, this is a situation you see in type 1 diabetes. That is, if you can't get insulin, if there's no insulin, then the glucose cannot get into the cell is starving, so you get very, very thin. So no matter what you eat, your body just keeps losing weight until you die. And if you treat these people with insulin, then they gain weight again. However, this is not what a type 2 diabetic person generally looks like. In fact, they look like this. So it's really hard to argue that this is a state of internal starvation, that their body is somehow undernourished because you can't get glucose into the cell for energy. So there's a different way to think about it, right? So this is normal insulin metabolism. So again, you have glucose, you have insulin, and this is a normal amount. We know that there's a lot of insulin and there's a lot of glucose. So is it because this is blocked? That's the internal starvation paradigm. Or is it, in fact, a situation where it's overfilled? So you can get the exact situation on the outside, lots of glucose, lots of insulin. But the reason that the insulin can't go in is because you just have all this excess intracellular glucose. So this gate is open, but the glucose can't go in because it's already full. So it's no different than if you have a suitcase, for example, and once you fill it up, you can't put any more in. The problem isn't with the suitcase or the lock or whatever, it's just full. But the implications are very different, because if you have an internal starvation situation, the solution is to give more insulin. In this situation, you have too much insulin acting for too long, which has led to this overflow, and the solution is less insulin. So it's a very, very important thing to understand in order to treat it. So this is the suitcase, and it's also no different than if you have a, say, a subway or a train. So insulin is like the people, it opens up the door, right? The train pulls into the station, insulin opens up the door, the glucose, which is on the platform, then should go inside. If you see all these people on the outside, it could be that the door is not opening. That's the internal starvation theory. Or it could be that it's full, and insulin keeps trying to push more people in, but at some point it simply can't do so. This is very important because if the problem is that the door is not opening, then you're going to try and open the door. If the problem is that there's too many people, then you need to offload the people. So very, very different solutions. So the question is, which is more likely? You have this sort of mystery villain, which is causing insulin resistance, which is causing hyperinsulinemia. This is the underfill internal starvation paradigm, right? Your cell is starving. So, you know, this is something which is causing, we can't find. It's been eluding these scientists for decades, but yet causing this worldwide epidemic. It's also going to predict certain things. That is, you're not going to have fatty liver. In fact, people are going to be very skinny, and losing weight is not going to reverse the disease at all. So clinically, this does not fit at all the situation that we're seeing. The phenotype is completely wrong. The other possibility is that this is an overflow problem. That is, the glucose is overflowing the cell, and that's why you have all of this. And what this means is that the hyperinsulinemia is the primary problem, right? And which is causing the insulin resistance, which is causing more hyperinsulinemia, which can be then traced to dietary changes. That is, increased meal frequency, higher carbohydrate intake. And this is also going to make certain predictions. That is, you will have fatty liver. You're going to have people who are overweight or obese. And if you lose weight, that is, burn off all this excess glucose, then you're going to reverse the disease. And that is exactly what we see. So this overflow paradigm of insulin resistance, hyperinsulinemia, is very important to understand, because it sets you up to understand why certain treatments, in fact, are beneficial and certain ones are not. And you can see immediately why bariatric surgery, fasting, and low carbohydrate diets work, whereas giving more insulin, giving sulfonylureas do not. And this is not new. In the Banting lecture in 2011, they talked about it. So the Banting lecture is the American Diabetes Association's highest scientific achievement award, and they talked about it, hyperinsulinemia. That is that in fact causing the insulin resistance, or is it the consequence? And the answer is, of course, both are possible. But, you know, if hyperinsulinemia, too much insulin, causes the problem, then what you're going to predict is that giving more insulin to control the blood glucose will not improve things. And remember, this is how we treated people. If you come in with type 2 diabetes, your glucose is high, you give people insulin. But if they already have too much insulin and you give more insulin, then it's not going to work. Just like if you have hyperthyroidism, you're not going to give more thyroid disease. And lowering the blood glucose instead of the whole body glucose, that is all that glucose that's inside the cell, will not improve outcomes. That is, you can give insulin, you can take the glucose and shove it into the cell, but that won't improve things if hyperinsulinemia is the primary problem rather than the consequence. So this underfill treatment paradigm says if you give more insulin to a hyperinsulinemic patient, you can move the glucose from outside the cell inside the cell. But the problem is that it doesn't really help you. You know, there's multiple studies over the last 10, 15 years which show you that if you control the glucose very tightly with more insulin, it doesn't improve outcomes. This is, you know, almost 28,000 people with type 2 diabetes. And if you're on oral hypoglycemics, what you see is that, you know, this is your survival, basically. And, you know, it's lowest at a hemoglobin A1C of 8%. If you have a A1C of 10, 11%, it's quite bad, right? Same as if you're on insulin, it's bad. But if you have a low A1C, it's really just as bad, because there's no benefit. If you're taking glucose from outside the cell and just shoving it into the cell, well, you haven't gotten rid of the glucose. The glucose is still inside your body, causing all the damage to your heart, to your kidneys, and so on. You never got rid of it. Therefore, you're not going to see any improvements. And that's exactly what we found in the Accord study, which is that randomized control trial where we simply randomized people to tight control versus not tight control. And that was at a time where we gave people lots of insulin. Yes, you could drop their A1Cs from 7.5 to 6.5, but in fact, they didn't have better outcomes. In fact, they may have actually have worse outcomes. It may have increased the risk of death, hazard ratio of 1.22. And that wasn't just that study. The advanced study said the same thing. Death from any cause was no different, major macrovascular events. So the underfill sort of internal starvation paradigm simply did not work. So the overflow treatment paradigm is completely different. If hyperinsulinemia is the problem, then you need treatments that lower the insulin, and you got to get rid of the glucose. You got to get that out of the body, not just the blood glucose, right? So this is like, suppose you have garbage, right? But instead of throwing it outside and into the dump, you just put it under the bed. Well, that doesn't get rid of the garbage, right? It's still there. It's still going to stink. So same thing with the glucose. If you simply take the glucose that's in the blood and shove it into the liver, well, it's not gonna help. So that's the whole problem. So how are you going to lower insulin? How are you going to get rid of this glucose? Well, luckily we have two new drugs, drug classes that do that. The SGLT2s, for example, they help your kidneys dump that glucose. And by doing so, they lower the insulin, right? Because if you have less glucose, you need less insulin, right? Insulin is going to push that glucose intracellular. And of course, this is exactly the benefits that we're finding in terms of end organ damage. The EMPA-REG, for example, looked at empagliflozin, and they were able to lower the A1C, but not a lot. You went from 8% to 7.6%, so not a very good benefit. But look at the all-cause mortality. You reduce the all-cause mortality by almost 32%. There's also the new GLP-1 agonists, which again are very, very powerful agents to reduce eating. And when you do that, insulin goes way down because people eat so much less, almost 700 calories less. And their insulin levels go down because they're eating less. So the whole point is that while you can certainly drop their weight with semaglutide, it also reduces end organ damage like massively. Like, so if you look at stroke, for example, you reduce it by 26%. Nephropathy, you can reduce it by like 36%, hazard ratio of 64%. So semaglutide having really very important benefits. And what it goes to show you is that is probably treating the disease process. So lowering the blood glucose, right? Moving the glucose from the blood into the body is only symptomatic treatment. Okay, so we mistook the disease of diabetes and we said it's a symptom. The symptom is high blood glucose, and it's just like if you have an infection and it's caused by a bacteria, you need to treat it with an antibiotic. It causes a symptom of fever, which you treat with acetaminophen or Tylenol. If you treat the fever, it doesn't it doesn't alter the disease process, it doesn't change anything. Same thing with type 2 diabetes. It's the type 2 diabetes that causes the high blood glucose. So you can certainly treat the high blood glucose with insulin and sulfonylureas, but you have to understand that that's not the disease. That's symptomatic treatment, and symptomatic treatment doesn't do anything in the long run. Type 2 diabetes, if it's caused by hyperinsulinemia, you need to lower the insulin. And you can do that with drugs, but again, more effectively, you can do that with dietary changes. And that's where SGLT2s come in, GLP-1s, but also low carbohydrate diets, and also intermittent fasting. Because if you look at this graph where we look at type 2 diabetes reversal, we have bariatric surgery, fasting, and very low carbohydrate diets. What do they have all in common? Well, the ones that make it worse increase insulin, and the ones that make it better decrease insulin. So it tells you that the part of the pathophysiology of the type 2 diabetes is not just the high glucose, it's the high insulin. And treatments that are going to treat the sort of root cause are going to be able to benefit you. So type 2 diabetes is a disease of too much insulin. Now the question is the pancreas actually burned out? And that's really important to know, because if it is, then there may not be any treatment that you can do. So there's this counterpoint study done a few years ago. And what they did is they took people and they treated them with very low calorie diets, and they were able to get the blood glucose right down. And what they saw is that the fat in the liver, this is the triglycerides in the liver, decreased. So this is people without type 2 diabetes. And what you see is that as you lose weight, the amount of fat in the liver goes down. And the insulin sensitivity tends to also improve. So this is type 2 diabetes. This is hepatic glucose production. You can see that it's too high in type 2 diabetes compared to the normal. But as you treat them, it actually normalizes. We see the same thing in terms of pancreatic fat. So in people with type 2 diabetes, they have more triglycerides in the pancreas compared to the controls. But over time, you can actually reverse that to get it lower. And this actually restores the beta cell function. So this is the insulin response of the pancreas. Remember, the pancreas is producing insulin. And one of the things that people said is in type 2 diabetes, you're not producing enough insulin. Well, that is actually completely reversible. So it turns out that the pancreas is not actually burned out. It was probably just clogged with fat. And as you lose the weight, as you get the insulin down, the hyperinsulinemia, the pancreas actually starts to recover. So this is the twin cycles hypothesis of type 2 diabetes, and it's sort of important to understand this. I'll go through this simply. So what you had is a diet which caused sort of high insulin levels over a long period of time. Insulin, of course, is a disease, is a hormone that tells the body to store energy. So it leads to fatty liver, which leads to hepatic insulin resistance, right? So that's the overflow phenomenon, right? So insulin, if you're eating lots of carbs, you got lots of insulin, and you're constantly filling up that cell with glucose, you're going to have fatty liver, which is going to lead to the insulin resistance because of that overflow phenomenon, which is, of course, going to lead to higher insulin levels. So that's just the first cycle. You have hyperinsulinemia, hepatic steatosis, insulin resistance. But there's a second one. So as the liver starts to fill up with fat, it actually starts to get rid of that fat because it doesn't want to hold on to it. So it pushes it out. And this is with the VLDL and triglycerides, and it gets taken up by the other abdominal organs, which leads to this abdominal obesity, but you get this fatty pancreas as well. Because the pancreas is getting clogged, there's this reversible beta cell dysfunction, which leads to the high blood glucose, right? Because as you're not pushing out as much insulin, you're going to allow that your blood glucose levels are going to go up. And that's what's going to lead to this high insulin again. But what's important is that the high blood glucose, when it exceeds the renal threshold of glycosuria, the body is going to start to dump out the glucose out of the urine, which is going to cause glycosuria, which is going to cause the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. But you have to understand that that's actually a protective mechanism. If your body is dealing with too much glucose, this beta cell dysfunction is allowing your body now to dump out the glucose. So it's actually a natural solution to the problem. Yes, there are side effects of it, lots of symptoms and so on. And in fact, that's what we do with the SGLT2s, is enhance the body's own protective response to the excess load of glucose, and the body just dumps it out. So if you think about the disease from a hyperinsulinemia standpoint, not the hyperglycemia standpoint, and you focus on lowering the whole body glucose, not just the blood glucose, you can see that there are different drugs, such as the neurodrugs, the SGLT2s, the GLP-1s, which are going to be good because they decrease insulin in a disease where insulin is too high, which is going to cause weight loss. And what you see is very impressive cardiovascular outcomes. Blood glucose, it's okay. The SGLT2s are okay. They're not great. You can do much better with insulin. There's sort of the bad ones, which don't do anything, because remember, metformin and DPP-4s, they don't actually get rid of the glucose. They just move it around. So they move it from the blood into the body, which is like taking garbage, instead of throwing it out, just putting it under the bed. You're just moving it around where you can't see it. So it's sort of neutral in terms of insulin effect. It's neutral in terms of weight. And it's got pretty good effect on blood glucose, but it doesn't really get rid of the entire amount of glucose in the body. And then you have the really ugly ones like the insulin and so on, which is going to increase your insulin, which is going to cause you to gain more weight and generally increase your cardiovascular events, which is bad because it's going to cause weight gain. And patients instinctively know this, of course, because if you have somebody with type 2 diabetes and you start treating them with insulin, well, what happens? Well, you treat them with insulin, they gain weight. As they gain weight, their type 2 diabetes gets worse. As it gets worse, you use more insulin, which is going to cause them to gain more weight. And then you simply spiral down out of control. So the whole point is that the treatment paradigm of treating a hyperinsulinemic patient with more insulin is not correct. It's like giving alcohol to an alcoholic. It might improve the symptoms temporarily, but it's not going to cure the alcoholism, right? Same thing with the insulin. It's like you can get the blood glucose down, absolutely, but that's not the disease. That's the symptom. You're making the disease of hyperinsulinemia worse. And the whole point is that you don't need drugs. There are certainly drugs that can help you with it, the SGLT2s, the GLP-1s, but you don't need the drugs to do that. And that's where the low carbohydrate diets and intermittent fasting are very beneficial. So those ones are very easy to understand. It's the diet. And if you want to think about it in terms of body glucose, think of it like a barrel, right? What's happening is with the diet, you're putting in the glucose into the body, and that's not a bad thing. This is energy for the body, and you'll use it. So this is like the tap at the bottom. So if you exercise for your normal basal metabolic rate, you're going to use it. The problem is that over time, if you overflow this barrel with too much glucose, well, all you have to do is shut this off. That's the most important thing, which is either, through cutting down the carbohydrates, which are glucose, remember, so proteins and fats are not glucose, they're triglycerides and amino acids, they're not glucose. Or you could do intermittent fasting, which cuts all of them down. So the whole point is that type 2 diabetes is a reversible disease, and the implications are quite profound, because if you don't have the diabetes, then you don't have the nephropathy, you don't have the ulcers, you don't have the retinopathies, the strokes, the cancers, and you can actually reverse this without any kinds of drugs or surgery, and there's actually no cost. You just have to change the diet and do the intermittent fasting, and that's really the promise that we have going forward. We have this terrible disease that has so many consequences for people, and yet we can actually change this. And the power to do that is actually within our grasp. It actually just requires a change in our knowledge, a change in our practice, and then we can do something about this. Thanks very much.
All right, everyone. It's a pleasure to listen to Dr. Jason Fung, and I'm sure you had some interesting insights out of the overflow theory versus the undernutrition theory. Not that we didn't know about it, but the clarity with which Dr. Fung comes across is always useful for us. And if some of you are wondering, what is this 10 and 100 and 100, then it's 10 years of freedom from diabetes that we are completing this year. It's 100 holistic transformation programs that have got over, and the 101st registrations are on, and the last 100 is about 100 transcendental residential programs are over, and in fact the 103rd one is actually going on right now. That's on the right of the screen. On the left of the screen, you see appreciation coming from and recognition coming from 3 major world authorities of diabetes, where our papers have got accepted and published also. Top of the chart is European Association for the Study of Diabetes. Middle one is the Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India, whose president-elect will be joining very, very soon with us. And the bottommost is the one American Diabetes Association, where 5 papers got accepted and all got published this year. So let's get going with the next part of the presentation, which involves introducing our live guest of honors. And it's a delight for me to introduce Dr. Banshi Sabuji. He has been the president of RSSDI in the past, and he is the chief diabetologist and chairman of Diabetes Care and Hormone Clinic in Ahmedabad. He's quite a revolutionary in terms of his ability to get people and doctors and everyone together and do some big work through research and through RSSDI and other diabetes bodies. He has in fact authored 300 research papers in national and international peer-reviewed journals, secretary of the Diabetes in Asia Study Group, president of the AIRO, which is about Indian Obesity Society, and awarded as the most impactful healthcare leaders by the World Health and Wellness Congress. Launched a project, Diabetes Free India 2030, which was acknowledged by the then president, Honorable Shri Pranab Mukherjee, and honored with fellowship from American College of Endocrinology, American College of Physicians, International College of Nutrition, Royal College of Physicians, MNMAS. So wonderful personality, very jovial, very connecting with all the doctors, and has deep insights into diabetes and reversal. Along with Dr. Banshi Sabuji, we also have Dr. Rakesh Sahay, who is a consultant endocrinologist and diabetologist, and the president-elect of the RSSDI, Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India, which is the biggest body of diabetes doctors, endocrinologists, and the likes. He's been the past president of the Endocrine Society of India and also the professor and head of the Department of Endocrinology, Osmania Medical College, Hyderabad. His achievements are numerous. Honorary Fellowship of the Sri Lanka College of Endocrinology 2022, CME Excellence Community Leadership Award 2021, and 250 plus publications in national and international peer-reviewed journal. We are delighted to have both of them right now in the back end. They will be joining live after the awards are announced and express their views about how it is to experience the results of freedom from diabetes, and congratulate all of you. And I'm sure they would have some words of wisdom for all of us who are watching, and award winners, non-award winners, of what you must do in future about diabetes and metabolic syndrome reversal. So with this, I hand over for a few minutes to Dr. Duriya to come back on stage and share with us the achievements of FFD so far. So over to Dr. Duriya now.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you once again. And that was indeed a very informative talk by Dr. Jason Fung. And we are looking forward to some more inspiring and informative talks from our guests. That's Dr. Rakesh Sahay as well as Dr. Banshi Sabu later on. And I must tell you, it's been a wonderful association with Freedom from Diabetes over the last 8+ years. And I have seen it go from strength to strength, and some phenomenal numbers of freedom that people have been able to achieve, whether it's freedom, whether it's reversal, whether it is remission. So the total free count as on today, well, it is 15,047 free of their medications for diabetes. That's a phenomenal number, perhaps not happening anywhere else in the world. And from last year's 13,000, it's up by almost 1,600 happening in the last year. So that's an amazing number, an amazing achievement. And it's been possible because of the hard work by everyone and the support from the team. So free from medicines, diabetes medicines, has been 11,961 people as of today. And free from insulin is again 2,127 people. That's an amazing number, phenomenal. Free from the POX and free from both insulin as well as the diabetes medicines is a whopping close to 1,000. That's 959 people going free of insulin as well as their diabetes medicines. Along with that, the comorbidities that exist in this condition is high BP, that's hypertension, and 1,100, that's 1,177 people have gone off their BP medicines, something which is normally not thinkable. Also free from their cholesterol medications are 2,782 people as of today. Free from hypothyroid medications, well, it's a difficult condition, but still 57 people have managed to get off their hypothyroid medicines, and that's a great achievement indeed. And the main part, yes, that's what this Muktotsav is all about, is clearing the glucose tolerance test. Well, it's a test, not an easy test. It's 15 teaspoons. Yes, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 चम्मच ग्लूकोज एक ग्लास पानी में पी के उसके बाद भी यदि आपकी blood sugar level, if your blood sugar level postprandial is less than 140, and if your fasting is below 100, of course, you are considered to be free from diabetes. And for an ex-diabetic, यानी आप diabetic थे और बाद में आप इतना सारा ग्लूकोज लेने के बावजूद भी अपनी पीपी रीडिंग 140 या 140 से नीचे लाते हैं और फास्टिंग 100 या 100 से नीचे है आपकी, तो आप जीटीटी चैंपियन कहलाते हैं और आपने बहुत अच्छी मेहनत की है। थोड़ा सा इधर उधर है आपकी शुगर रीडिंग, फास्टिंग 101 और 125 के बीच में है और पीपी आपकी 141 और 199 के बीच में है। सो इट इज कॉल्ड इम्पेयर्ड ग्लूकोज टॉलरेंस। यू आर ऑलमोस्ट देयर और हम चाहते हैं कि अगले साल आप वो लक्ष्मण रेखा भी पार कर सके। ओके, बट इंस्पायरिंग, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली अमेजिंग फॉर एन एक्स डायबिटिक टू फर्स्ट इवन go for this lab test. Okay, this is a world gold standard test और हमारे 355 यानी 355 शूरवीर ने ये लैब टेस्ट पे गए हैं, 15 चम्मच ग्लूकोज पिए हैं और उनमें से 125 लोगों ने आईजीटी क्लियर की है, 215 लोगों ने जीटीटी क्लियर की है, एंड दैट्स एन अमेजिंग नंबर। और 15 लोगों को और भी हल्की सी थोड़ी मेहनत बाकी है, हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि अगले साल वो क्लियर कर पाए। Okay, so IGT cleared by 125 people, GTT cleared by 215 people, and 15 are almost there but not able to clear. So that's a strike rate of 96%. Those who went for this lab GTT test had managed to clear either IGT or GTT. In fact, it's 1% more than last year, which was 95%. So amazing. Hats off to all of you who have worked really hard. I think wearing this GTT medal is like wearing an Olympic medal. It requires so much of dedication, hard work, belief in yourself, and support from the family. और लगातार काम करने पर यहाँ तक इस मकाम पर पहुँचते हैं. So hats off and a great salute to each and every one of the IGT and GTT champions. And along with that, we have many other champions also whom we shall be felicitating today. We have 104 awards being given tonight. IGT champions, 9 of them. GTT champions in various categories, we have 21 of them. Weight loss champions, well, that is an amazing story in itself. We have 10 of them. Athletic champions who will absolutely inspire you with their journey. We have 21 awards. We have freedom champions in various categories, 19 awards, and of course, other special awards and FFD awards, 24 of them. So the most amazing and exciting and much awaited part of the evening is here for the award distribution. And over to Dr. Pramod to do the honors.
And before I start sharing the awards, I want to really congratulate everyone who qualified for the awards. And there were literally hundreds of them that we could gather from our database who qualified for these awards. Also, each and every person who's cleared GTT, IGT, and lost 15 plus kgs of weight, their details have been mentioned in today's morning video in case anyone is interested. And people have literally from many, many countries and cities been able to do this. So this is going to be a rapid fire round, and our team always tells us we work for these awards for almost 6 months, gathering data and kind of inspiring people to clear GTT, and you finish it in such a short time. And I always tell them that yes, any movie that comes on screen, there might be 2 years that have gone in the movie, but in the end, the movie is just a couple of hours. So it's going to be a 22 minute affair right now, rapid fire round, but every person's photograph gathered, details put in, every comma, and the way everything has been put in together, you will be able to notice the amount of hard work the team has also done. And of course, the champions have done in creating whatever they've created. So starting with the IGT Champions Award right away of 2023, reminding everyone that 125 cleared IGT from 5 countries and 50 cities. Interestingly, this has been the year where we are getting some numbers which are very, very smooth or rounded numbers at the end. We start with the less than 40 years category female award going to Tanaya Kulkarniji, who is just 20 years from Pune and who had 4.5 years of diabetes, and she's so happy because I saw her in one of the videos expressing her wonderful transformation that she could feel at this young age. And for the male category, it goes to Aman Nema from Pune again, who's 35 years young, 2.5 years of diabetes. For the 40 to 50 years category, female award goes to Kajal Chawdaji from Mumbai, almost 7 years of diabetes. Congratulations, Kajalji, wherever you are right now. And Suresh KRG, who's 49 years young from Chennai. Duration of diabetes, please mark, it's 18 years. Thereafter, it's our own Rachna Raoji, who also happens to be one of our very talented and speedy, quick WhatsApp group managers who joined the program. He's from Mumbai, 60 years young, 13 years of diabetes, got off medication, has been able to clear IGD this year, and all the best to her to clear GD next year. Dr. Krishnaya Thumalla Charla from Nellore, almost 20 years of diabetes, 58 years young, in the 50 to 60 years category, male awardee. We move on to 60 to 70 years category, and the female award goes to Miss Mayuri Sunil Shaji from Mombasa, Kenya. Bright looking, smiling, gorgeous lady with 12 years of diabetes and amazing transformation created on many fronts. In the male category, it's Chittur Suresh Kumarji from Hyderabad, 8 years of diabetes, age 67 years, who's been able to get this award for this year, followed by more than 70 years category. And in that we have a very smiling Dr. S. Hariharan, only 78 years of age, from Trivandrum, and duration of diabetes he had was for 7 years. So let's put in our hands together, claps resounding. Already firecrackers are happening for all these wonderful IGD champion awardees, and we move on to the GDD champion awards for this year, which has been done, GDD clearing has been done by 215 people from 7 countries and 70 cities. Again, very interesting coincidences of equal numbers. We start with the less than 40 years age category female award going to Rajashri Bora Lekharu, 34 years from Dibrugarh and 13 years of diabetes, so got very early at the age of 21. And Ramesh Bankarji from Khalwa, 39 years, 7 years of diabetes. 40 to 50 years female award winner is Meena Kapilji, 48 years from Navi Mumbai, 15 years of diabetes, left behind and conquered completely. And Mr. Shivakumar S, 50 years from Bengaluru with 9 years of diabetes, kind of completely wiped out from the system to whatever degree he could as of now. And of course he needs to keep going on and on so that he remains the GD champion for many years to come. This is something really stunning for everyone to recognize. Somebody with 24 years of diabetes at the age of 54, Shobita Mathurji from Delhi, could clear glucose tolerance test. She is the award winner for the 50 to 60 years female category, and the male category goes to Partha Sarathi Durai Swami, very religious person from Thane, 57 years young, but again 20 years of diabetes. Boys and girls, is challenging. The moment you have more than 5 or 10 years of diabetes, you really need to work hard to get it out of the system. 60 to 70 years female category goes to Vijaya Ingleji, who's 63 years young from Hubli, almost 17 years of diabetes, and she's done it more than once. It's not the first time that she's doing it, she's done it more than once. She was at the festival last year also, and Male category goes to Hemant Parsampuria ji, who is 65 years young from Mumbai with 15 plus years of diabetes. So congratulations, Hemant ji, wherever you are. And this is unique. More than 70 years. Also, we've got people clearing GTD. Here we have Anupama Hiralkar clearing from Solapur, 74 years of age, 8 years of diabetes cleared from a system. And Sheshagiri Muthayaji, 70 years from Pune with 20 years of diabetes conquered beautifully. The Independent Professional Category Award goes to Reshma Aroleji, who's 51 years from Pune with 17 years of diabetes conquered. From the corporate category, we've got Naresh Gaurji, 51 years young from Pune, clearing GTD not once, not twice, but I think 3 times he's cleared GTD, 14 years of diabetes. Shanta Murthy ji from Pune again, 51 years age, 8 years of diabetes. In the service category has been a winner. And homemaker category, Sadhna Bajpai ji from Lucknow, 68 years young, 16 years of diabetes defeated. The Healthy Doctor Award category goes to Dr. Ramachandra Subramaniam ji, who's 71 years young from Secunderabad with 11 years of diabetes. And Business Owner category goes to Ashok Kapadia ji, and his video is going around, 65 years young from Pune with 8 years of diabetes left behind. In the retired category female, we've got Dr. Seema Madanji from Secunderabad, 68 years young, 7 years of diabetes left behind. And in the male category, we've got Dr. M.K. Jawahar Babu again from Hyderabad, Secunderabad area, 71 years, 14 years of diabetes left behind. In terms of the maximum times GTD has been cleared, the female category award goes to Rama Maruti Gonmodeji from Dulek for clearing GTD for 5 years in a row. Let's give special claps to her. And maximum time GTD cleared male category goes to Santosh Maharabji, who is from Bengaluru, 49 years young. His diabetes duration was less, and those who have lesser years can look forward to a much long-term healthy life. Freedom. Now this is again super special award, boys and girls, because being on insulin, being on tablets, stopping them, getting into remission and then clearing GTD is unique, and has been done by Ram Sundar Raman from Udaipur with 20 years of diabetes left behind. Is free from both medications and insulin. And from here on, we go into the Weight Loss Champions Awards for those who've lost more than 15 kg weight. And our man is already on the stage, Dr. Malhar Ganlaji, who is the founder of Freedom from Obesity and the CIO at Freedom from Diabetes. 15,000 patients have reversed, 4 lakh kg weight has been lost. He's the master in sports, and he has done masters in sports and exercise science from New Zealand, but of course he's a master of many things. Master of LinkedIn, master of communication, master of jokes, entertainment, fun, and also master of making people go into the gym, hit the gym. I think we've missed writing here. He is a double TEDx speaker. 2 TEDx videos are on, and the latest one is doing great rounds, 1990. Diploma in sports psychology and exercise physiology from UK, and of course he's been a dentist before doing all these deviations which are aligned to his passion. He's also the author of Exercising Your Way to Freedom from Diabetes. So over to Dr. Malhar to come on board and share the Weight Loss Champion Awards.
Thank you. Always a big act to follow you, but yes, we're going to do this. So accumulative weight loss. Thanks, Dr. Duria. Good to see you. Cumulative weight loss of 4 lakh plus kgs. This is becoming a year-on-year number now. We're going to have had at least 1 lakh kgs every year now. Weight loss champions, we've had 232 participants from 10 countries and 94 cities across the world. Healthy Weight Loss Award for the 20 to 25 kgs female, Mrs. Jega Jyoti Pichamoni. Okay, I hope I got that right. Age 56, city Mumbai, total weight loss 25 kgs. That's fantastic. I can imagine how you feel. For the male, 20 to 25 kgs, Mr. Nilesh Wadekar, that's 46 years from Pune, and 25 kgs of weight loss. It's literally 1/4 of a person. Oh, that's fantastic. The 25 to 30 kgs category, we have Mrs. Srilata Ranganathan Agaram, age 49 years from Pune. Again, total weight loss 25 kgs. I think Pune has got a lot lighter this year. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
And we have Bhilai too, 25 to 30 kgs. Mr. Animesh Tiwari, age 37, city Bhilai, total weight loss 29 kgs. We can't even imagine. We lose 5 kgs and we feel great, but I can't imagine what 29 kgs feels like. Oh, amazing. There's the image, and so much postural change can be noticed over there. You know, it's amazing. The stomach, the Madhya Pradesh as we call it, it's gone all the way in, it's got flattened, and yeah, look at his arms also got in, the chest has got in, so the face has shrunk. So look at the postural change. I mean, the spine has straightened out. It's just fantastic. I can imagine how he's feeling. So, then we have the 30 to 35 kg. Mr. Pranjal Prabhakar Joshi from Mumbai, 48 years of age, total weight loss 35 kgs. Damn, it's fantastic. Then we have Mr. Anand Pratap Singh, again 35, 51 kgs, age 62 years from Noida. Okay, well, we need to get a full body photo of this. 51 kgs is incredible, isn't it? That's 1/3 of a person, literally, you know, if he was in that weight range. Amazing. Next, yes. We have in the maximum weight loss menopause, post-menopause category. This is a very tricky category for women. A lot of women believe after menopause it's difficult, but here we have Mrs. Rita Mohanty, age 58, city Bhubaneswar. Yes, diabetes also 23 years, but look at the total weight loss. I mean, in women, it is a little more difficult, but it's just creditable that she's pulled off 35 kgs. Congratulations to you, Rita ma'am. Then we have the fittest couple award. Well, I think there was a lot of competition for this award, so congrats to all the couples who applied, but we had to finally follow the numbers, so we took the numbers age 54 and 51, which is again shows at that age from Udaipur. Total weight loss is 33 kgs, 18 for Ram and 15 for Geetika. The athlete identities, of course, he's become a gymmer. I'm sure she's also gymming, and they're also doing some outdoor stuff. 230 kgs of leg press. That's fantastic. They're doing it. That's really amazing. To hitting the gym. We have the fittest family. Venu is one of my personal inspirations. I've met him in Hyderabad. And family, both his sons, his wife, they've all had a miraculous transformation, all led by Venu, of course. 51, 46, 23 years and 19 years. They all hit the gym regularly. And it's great to see their posts as well. Okay. Then we have Jyoti Aditya Jha. I just remember like it was yesterday we spoke on the phone. He's a youngster preparing for CA. He's 19 years of age from Jodhpur. I remember he's well across 100 kgs and very difficult for him to pull off this weight loss. But even though he's a teenager, he has been able to put his head down. And congrats, Jyoti. My personal pat on the back to you. I know how difficult it is, and really, congratulations to you. Many more to go, but we are with you. Yes, there he is. You can see him on the left. There was significant bloating he used to have. He used to have a lot of low energy levels. Now he's studying hard and doing well. Okay, longest fasting story, which is again people think fasting is tough. They can't skip a meal, they can't skip a day without eating. But look at Mrs. Jyoti Bafna, age 40 years from Thane, long fast for 360 hours. I mean, I'm sure it's just water and supplements, but you know, to be able to pull this kind of fast off is just very creditable. Mr. Vishal Saxena, age 44 years from Mehsana, long fast for 384 hours. He just beat the battle of the sexes by one day. Okay, next year we should have someone at 16, equal. Then we have Mrs. Kalpana Ravi, age 63 years, city Bangalore, weight gain. Yes, so this is one of the very contentious topics for our low BMI people, but as you can see, weight gain in diabetes is possible. Healthy weight gain, as we call it. He's put on 12 kgs of muscle. That's a seriously underweight 38 to 50. Congratulations, Kalpana. That's very, very well done. I mean, you know, I'm sure you're feeling a lot better and stronger. Of course, the muscle increases, your postures improve. Good. Congratulations to you. Mr. Pabitra Das, age 38, again, weight gain 12.5 kgs, 50 kgs to 62.5. I'm sure you're feeling a lot stronger. Congrats to you on this. Yes, now comes the Athletic Champions Award. I think we are the only people who give such an award to diabetics and to obese people who normally people wouldn't consider athletic, but we have created an army of them. So yes, let's do this. The first one we are giving is cyclists under 50 years of age. So we have cyclists, gymmers, swimmers, runners, trekkers, hikers. We have so many awards, but to start with, Mr. Dheeraj Pawar, age 44 years from Pune, Goa, 500 kilometers with just 3 stops. That's fantastic, and you can make out, these are not athletically built people. These are people who have put their head down and trained for it. And he enjoys 100 kilometers rides regularly. Congrats, Dheeraj, and more power to you. Okay.
Malar, there is a green colored line that is coming on the screen. So we'll have to just stop the screen share for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
And let me just start resharing and see what happens.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Okay. We can continue from here.
Yes, yeah. Great. Dheeraj, congratulations to you. And more power. Anugna, we've had so many conversations over the years. Attends all sessions digitally, above 50 years. Done a first 50k bike ride. Loves biking 15 kilometers. More power to you. Keep smiling. Kiran, you're part of FFD athletic folklore. So 51 years from Pune, live very close to me. Amassed 4,000 kilometers in cycling, and you're a classic transformation. You're the physique that has launched probably 100 transformations by yourself. So more power to you. More Khadakwasla rides. Keep up the good work. Then we have Mrs. Meena Kapil, age 48. Achievement 160 kg leg press. That's fantastic. Typically we tell people to leg press your own weight. These are people leg pressing 3 times their weight. So 60 kg seated cable rows. That's phenomenal stuff. Yeah. Congrats, Meena. Mrs. Rekha Patadia from Sydney, Australia. Great. 35 years. Achievement 95 kg leg press. Fantastic, Rekha. Keep up the good work. International category. Yes, this one is. And under 50 years of age. Mr. Ashish Mahale, again, male, national category, age 36, Surat. Achievements 200 kg leg press, barbell 50 kgs and bench press 40 kgs. Fantastic. Gymmers always make me the proudest. I'm an endurance athlete, but I love it when Indians gym. It's great to build muscle. Mr. Neeraj Shah from Melbourne, Australia, again, international category, 47 years, 250 kg leg press. That's fantastic. That's about 4 times your weight, I'm sure. Well done. Dr. Lalita, greater than above 50 years of. Okay, we have female Dr. Lalita Anand, 68 years of age. That photo doesn't do justice to a 68-year-old. Come on, Lalita. Bengaluru, achievement 70 kg leg press. That's fantastic. Really nice. Keep up the good work. Gymmer, above 50 category male, Mr. Sadanand Savarkar, and age 55, city Mumbai, achievement 80 kg leg press. Good. After 50, we have to be a little cautious with the weight, but that's wonderful. Multi-sport athletes, Mr. Dontu Rao, age 43, Vijayawada, achievement 108 Surya Namaskars and 50 km cycling and 50 kg leg press, and he doesn't go to work anymore. That's what happens when you join FFD. That's all you do. Multi-sports, Mrs. Shalini Chaube, I think from Lucknow, yes, age 51, national category, achievement 50 Surya Namaskars, regular with gym and 6 km running twice weekly, a proper 3-2-1. Good on you, Shalini. Multi-sports greater than 50, female international category, Mrs. Nanda Yelatha Sridhar, age 66 years, Jakarta. Great. Achievement 3-2-1. Good. Gym, yoga, cardio. Keep up the good work. Anirita. Mr. Sanjay Maniar, age 58, multi-sports again, Ahmedabad, achievement 216 scores. How did you keep count? 25 km cycling, 12.5 kg dumbbells and 5k running. Good, Sanjay ji. Keep up the good work. And we do meet on the athlete group, of course. Runners, less than 50 years. There are so many of them, but again, we chose someone, Mr. Mahendra Devre, age 39, done I guess that's the Satara Hill Marathon, 18 kilometers. That's fantastic. It's much tougher than doing a flat one. Sujata Parthasarthi, again above 50. Achievement from Thane, 12 kilometer runs, 10 kilometer weekly long runs. Fantastic, Sujata. Keep up the good work. Mr. Mukesh Shah, great, above 50 years, age 61 years, city Mumbai, 10 kilometers twice a week. Good. Consistency is king. Mr. Hariharan, age 60 from Singapore. Achievement 10 km twice a week. Great. Good, Hariharan. Mr. Kukehali Udepa Yogi, Okay, athlete Dr. Pramod's favorite, age 50, city Bangalore, achievement 216 Surya Namaskars weekly, and a regular jogger and gym. I'm looking like a motivational speaker and trainer. You are looking good. Then we have another yogi in the house, Mrs. Sarita Gupta, age 42, city Kolkata, achievement 108 Surya Namaskars 4 times. Great, Sarita. Very nice. Mrs. Malini Kumar, yogi above 50 years, city Texas, USA, achievement 100 Surya Namaskars every day since 3 months. Are you serious? Okay, that's incredible. Okay, Malini, fantastic. Best athletic influencers, one of my favorites, Asha Satya Narayan, wherever you are, if you're in Bangalore right now, age 58, achievement, overcoming spine issues, losing 30 plus kgs of weight, gymming, now climbing mountains. Asha does a lot of fast jogging on the spot also. She's a beacon of light. She's an absolute legend, a part of FFD folklore and legacy now. Asha's formed her own group now to take people into the mountains. So hats off to you, Asha. Yeah, keep up the good work. That's fantastic. Yeah, and now along with a new trainer, you also need a new tailor, Asha. Okay, great. Then we have Mr. Sanjay D'Souza, another absolute legend. He's done a 160k bike ride today morning, by the way. We've just written 100 there. So age 57 years, city Mumbai, gone from a HDFC corporate guy to now becoming a full-time cyclist almost. Age 57. Achievements 100Ks. He's done 1600K rides, by the way. He's a gymmer and yogi, inspires many, and he's a remarkable person. And I think he's just going to change many lives in his next chapter. And I hand back the mic now to Dr. Pramod for the Freedom Champion Awards.
Before I come to Freedom Champion Awards, we do have Dr. Banshi Sabuji and Dr. Rakesh Sahay quietly watching whatever is going on. Dr. Banshi Sabuji has joined in straight after landing from the flight, and he's in travel mode, watching all the achievements that variety of FFDNs have done. He's on the camera right now. And Dr. Rakesh Sahay also is very much, he was in motion and he's now settled down at home. I hope you are enjoying, both of you, whatever awards are being shared, noting down the names and the cities and the number of years of diabetes and many other things which are being shared.
Yes, Pramod, it's really great. Incredible.
So we'll just complete the awards and we would love to hear your words of wisdom once we complete them. So I'm moving to the Freedom Champion Awards, again a special category of awards which we have here, in which there is the longest freedom story award, somebody who's been free since the longest time.
I landed at Delhi, I'm going for function. Maybe in another 20 minutes I will reach there. If you, I may not join again, it's a problem.
Okay.
So Rakesh is there, Rakesh, to talk from the RSSDI and from this. But once again, I congratulate you for your fantastic work which you are doing, and I wish you all the best. And I want more and more publication which you should do. You have already started doing in American Diabetic Association and in ESD, or this time in RSSDI. You were there in ED also as an oral presenter, in ESD also as an oral presenter. So we want that more and more data from India you should show, and not just 1 year or 2 year data, long-term data of reversal of diabetes. And you really proved the way it was proved internationally that diabetes is a reversible disorder. It's not like a progressive disorder. Once you have diabetes, it means lifelong diabetes. You proved that people can reverse it, and that's really incredible. I congratulate you and complete your team, because your team is really working very, very closely with you, and you are not only national hero as far as reversal is concerned, but now on an international platform, you are very well known, and I'm sure people will recognize you more and more. Once again, congratulations to you and your team. Fantastic achievement.
Thank you so much, sir. Blessings from you. I still remember the 2019 blessing that you need to be the Roy Taylor of India. And movement has happened on that front. So many more papers have got published. And yes, we will be presenting longitudinal data of 3 years, 5 years to the world as time goes by. Thank you for your good wishes and appreciation and connection and blessings. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. So we do have Dr. Rakesh Sahay, President-elect of RSSDI with us right now. Being with us for the remaining awards, Amrut Undeji from Ahmednagar has been free since 2014. So 9 years diabetes freedom he's enjoying. Of course, his duration was less, just 2 years. And the best comeback story award, you will love this, Dr. Sahay, is by Mr. Ramesh Sharma ji, who is only 74 years young. Dr. Sahay, if you can come on camera, if you're settled, it will be wonderful to have you on camera. You can be around on the camera very much. And yeah, he's from Pune. He is free since 2016. He restarted in between for 1.5 years, but now he's free for 3 years. And his diabetes has been 34 years. So we are awarding him the best free comeback story from the inception of FFD, a story which is almost for now 7-8 years. Then Medicine Terminator Award, maximum types of medications stopped, goes to Gira Voraji from Mumbai, and her duration was 14 years and she was taking 5 types of diabetes medications. Venkat Ramani Narayanan, who's 69 years from Mumbai, also with a diabetes duration of 22 years, is free from 5 types of diabetes medications. Maximum units of insulin stopped in the female category for the Insulin Terminator Award goes to Shweta VA from Bengaluru, who has terminated and got rid of 133 units of insulin completely. 10 years of diabetes was there, started pretty early at the age of 24 years. And Mr. Irwin Bansiji from Pune again, who's 65 years young, has got rid of 116 units of insulin completely. 27 years of diabetes is what he was suffering from. Miraculous Freedom Story Award for maximum years of insulin stop. Mrs. Chandrika Bhatia ji from Chicago, USA, 74 years young. She was on insulin for 27 years. And what a relief it would be for her that she has to stop poking herself after 27 long years. Great going. Chandrika ji, wherever you are, it's amazing to see such transformation. And Jai Prakash ji, 28 years on insulin from Mumbai, again 74 years young. Miraculous Freedom Story Award for the male category goes to you. Great job done, and I'm sure you and your family is so happy with this development. The Super Miraculous Freedom Story Award goes to Premini Nair, who's 70 years young from Bengaluru, who has been diabetic for 26 years and has become free of both medicine and insulin. This goes for the female category award, and the male category award goes to Kondaya Pasunuti, 30 years of insulin and medicines both stopped. From your own Hyderabad, Secunderabad area, Dr. Rakesh Sahay, 65 years young, Kondaya, and Bengaluru Premini, 26 years and 30 years, both insulin medicines stopped. Largest drop in HbA1c has been done by Nanu Gadok from Noida, 69 years. Duration of diabetes was 9 years and 8.3 point drop from 15.1 to 6.8. Female category. Male category is Rajat Gulati. We fondly call him Gullu, my batchmate from MBA in a way, 48 years young from Noida. Duration was less. That's why the drop in HbA1c is dramatic, 15 to 5.2%. Lowest HbA1c award also. These are smaller awards we give for education and motivation for everyone. Gopal Shri Dekaji from Guwahati has come to an HbA1c of 4.3 from 11.6, just 2 years of diabetes here. And Rakesh Bhatnagarji from Delhi, 3 years of diabetes, has a drop from 8.4 HbA1c to 4.8. That's in the male category. Longest Hypertension Freedom Story Award. This is again a Freedom Champion Award. We're going into a different category. Is Rajalakshmi Sundaraman, 67 years from Dindigul, 23 years of hypertension medication stopped. And in the male category, it goes to Dr. Chaitanya Gajanan Hoskodeji from Mumbai, 32 years on hypertension medication stop. He is 68 years young. Dyslipidemia Freedom Story, free from cholesterol medications, female, goes to Sumati Iyer Narayanan from Mumbai, 14 years of cholesterol medication stop. She's just 58 years young. and P.N. Ganeshwar Rao from Hyderabad again, 22 years of cholesterol medication stop. He's 67 years. Thyroid freedom story, we all know only 57 people have become free of thyroid medications from FFD because largely it's autoimmune in nature in most people. So freedom becomes very difficult and challenging despite having 15,000 people free in diabetes. It's a very small number, but those who become free do rejoice. And we have Rajnikant Mukpala, who's 53 years young from Cary, USA, becoming free of 8 years of hypothyroid medications. Longest hypothyroid reversal story. We also award people who reverse, not only become free. Venkata Satyanarayana from Amalapuram, AP. He's come down from 71.2 TSH to 2.3 TSH, 8 years of hypothyroidism he was suffering from. And this will be something that again you will love seeing, sir. CKD freedom story, which is about normalization of microalbumin. And the largest drop has been achieved by Rekha Bharatkumar Shuklaji from 4,823 units to 22.7. She's got a 4,800 point drop in microalbumin and she's normalized the microalbumin. We're really proud of her achievement. Normalization of creatinine, again in the female category, has been done in the international, Jency Blesenji, 42 years. This was the microalbumin largest drop with normalization. This is the creatinine largest drop and normalization in the female category. Kottayam, Kerala, 1.6 drop in creat from 2.3 creatinine. She's come to 0.7. So hearty congrats, Jancy, wherever you are. Definitely you've added 10 years of your life. Normalization of creatinine in the male category goes to Kamlakar Jadavji, who's had a 0.69 drop from 1.59 to 0.9. He's very much from Pune, 63 years young. Improvement in creatinine also. There are numerous people who improve the creatinine, but they are not able to normalize it. And the largest drop is by Sharda Krishnan from Hyderabad again, 1.6 to 1.1 milligram per deciliter. And Anthony Louis Nambiarji from Ontario, Canada, has had a whopping 0.96, almost 1 creat drop from 3.6 to 2.65. Best all-round reversal story award of metabolic syndrome in the female category goes to Usha Jaraman, 48 years from Cary, USA, 24 years of diabetes. She's free from diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, medications, all of them. And in the male category, this goes to Srinivasa Putta Samachara, and 75 years young from Bengaluru, 24 years diabetes duration, and he's also free from hypertension and cholesterol medications. Other special awards quickly goes to Inner Transformation Story Award. We do a lot of work besides diet and exercise on the psychology, stress release and positivity building. 3 months spent on stress release, 3 months spent on positivity building through the law of attraction and vision board creation. And we've got wonderful stories of Geeta Rajan from Sydney, Australia, who's moved from helplessness feeling to fearlessness feeling. And they've got a detailed freedom story also uploaded on the website. Here just a summary. Asavari Vadir from Pune, from self-neglect to self-love and from anger to tranquility, is Pallavi Gotikar from Mumbai, 43 years young. In the male, the Inner Transformation Story Award goes to Abhishek Jain, Victoria, Australia, from being a hustler to a yogi, from being worried to mindful is Arun Rao from Doha, Qatar, and Piyush Kumar from Gurgaon, 47 years, from being fearful to being resilient. Most Diligent Participant Award, who's a maximum number of follow-ups with us, goes to Shailendra Singh from Howrah. He's taken 30 consults over the period of time with us that he's been engaged. And graceful aging, one more time, goes to Anupama Hiralkar from Solapur, who's cleared her GDT, and for her age, whatever is befitting, she is doing those exercises regularly. HKC Swami, again from Bengaluru, 72 years young, has achieved 2 times GDT clearance. He's a champion over there, is also a trekker and a wonderful example of graceful aging. Inspiring Story Award in the female category goes to Savita Bordeji from Sambhajinagar, Aurangabad, diabetic since 7 years, 57 years young. She she's been having Parkinson's. Despite Parkinson's, she's done the Brahmagiri trek, which is 4,200 feet elevation and 21 km distance. And next she's taking Kolsubai trek, and she's also cleared glucose tolerance test. She's defeated 7 years of diabetes. Very, very inspiring story. The details are available on FFD's website. Bhavani Shankarji RV, 51 years from Bengaluru, is, despite being a leg amputee, he totally lost 16 kgs of weight and started doing yoga, and is free from 95 units of insulin. For all those diabetics who undergone leg amputation, he is the one who can inspire you for great miraculous changes. Inspiring Story Award in the male category goes to Ankur Gupta ji from Aligarh for overcoming scoliosis, which is of course not completely eradicated. Effects are still there, and back pain with low motivation level, which he had in the beginning, and he's become a gymmer now. And despite scoliosis, he's done 60 kg leg presses, 100 squats, and he's had 10 kg weight loss from Aligarh. Ankur Gupta, wherever you are, again, you're going to be a big motivation for the youngsters. Maximum waist reduction, Patli Kamar Award goes to Sumit Agarwal from Kolkata, who's reduced waist by 10 inches, 57 to 47, and his weight loss is from 26 kgs, is of 26 kgs from 140 kgs to 114 kgs from Kolkata. And that's how he was, and that's how he is now. We have also 843 mentors in 94 cities and 26 countries. These are past participants who inspire with their stories to newer participants and become a great energy exchange mechanism, information exchange mechanism, and upliftment for newer participants. So the top 10 mentors in the female category award goes to Aarti Karia ji, Anuradha Patange ji, Dr. Madhumita ji, Geeta ji, Gauri ji, Karpagam ji, Rajkumari Gulecha ji, Suman Nagpal ji, Vaishala Doot ji, Vijay Ingla ji. And each one of them has actually undergone a rigor of looking at what are the maximum number of mentees they took, what is the percentage freedom maximum amongst the mentees they took, how was their NPS score, and the work. So all these awards have been given based on a lot of number crunching that has been done in the back end by the team. Top 10 mentors in the male category are Anand Maheshwari ji from Noida, Nurag Nigam from USA, Bindudar Kori from Bengaluru, Lala Tenduji from Cuttack, Manoj Agarwal ji from Siliguri, Mridur Saran from Pune, Nilesh Wadekar from Pune, Ranganathan from Bengaluru, Rao Sai Padil from Pune, and Shrikant Chandrasekharan from Dubai. Great job, mentors. Wherever you are, 840 plus, just keep going and inspiring the newer people. Sir, we also have 86 clubs, which is made up of past participants who informally meet. They eat together, they greet together, they go for treks together, and it's there in 12 countries and 200 cities across the world. And top club facilitators that we have who've done amazing job are Aparna Todeji from Baroda, Prakash, Asha, H.K. Swami, Karpagam, Sudindranath, Vidyulata, Karpagam from Chennai, Shanmugunathan from Chennai, and Tasneem Bhavanagarwala from Chennai. So Chennai, Bangalore, Baroda, a lot of activity has been happening. Vidya also in Chennai. We've got Ankur, Harneet, Nidhi, Prakash, and Preeti Taneja ji, Visheshe Sharma ji from Delhi, doing amazing work, inspiring people over there. Gujarat, we've got Nilesh, Ajit Jain, Basant Gupta from Kolkata, Lalita, Pramod, Ronak again from Kolkata, Neelu Toys in Los Angeles. Wherever you see something in yellow, it's just to highlight it's international. Ashish Srivastava from Mumbai, and Geeta, Gianni, Rintu, Mohan Kumar, Ramachandram from Mysuru, Rao Sahib from Pune, Vijay Ingle from Pune and also from Hubli, and Manish Shah from San Diego, Manjari Paranspe, and Manoj Patel ji from San Francisco. They've really helped FFD's movement over there and inspired people over there. So big salute to all the winners wherever they are, and all the people who may not have won an award and got highlighted over here, but you have done amazing work. With this, I pause my rapid fire. I think it's gone more than 24 minutes, 25 minutes, which we thought with a little break in between. And Dr. Banshi Sabuji, of course, has expressed his words of appreciation for them and also direction for FFD for long-term presentation. We invite Sir you now as a guest of honor to please come on stage. You're already there to share your appreciation for everyone and your words of wisdom and direction and caution whatever you feel will add value to the audience right now and who will watch the video later. So over to you, Dr. Sahay ji.
So good evening to everyone who is here, who has joined this program. And first of all, let me congratulate all the winners who are here. They have done an extremely wonderful job, and also to all the other participants who, as you said, who may not have won an award today, but they are doing extremely well. But I think I should also start with congratulating you first, Dr. Pramod Tripathi, for the excellent work that you've been doing. It has proven beyond doubt now that lifestyle has a very important role to play in many disorders, not only diabetes. As you have seen, you looked at diabetes, hypertension, you looked at lipid abnormalities, you looked at obesity, you looked at many other conditions. Even CKD to some extent is reversible too. So what we have seen is that there are reversible factors in every disease, and as you have shown, some of them have had significant other comorbidities, but have been able to overcome that because of the advice that they have been following, the lifestyle changes that they've been bringing about, apart from the medications that they may be on. But certainly there's a reduction in the need for medications. So I think this concept has really come in the last few years. As you were mentioning, Roy Taylor was the one who took it to the forefront internationally, and I think you have done this in our country and also internationally, as we can see. And so we are very proud of you, and we are encouraging you to. We would once again request you to document this, publish this, and that will certainly show us, give us a direction, give direction to all those who are looking forward to adopting this change in lifestyle towards providing the benefit to their patients, and also people who are doing it themselves can understand the importance of how lifestyle changes can bring about a major impact in the management of various chronic disorders. So once again, I think you've done a marvelous job over the years, and we once again congratulate you for putting forward many scientific publications in the last few years that you've done it at the ADA, at the EASD, and at the RSSDI. We had the pleasure of listening to your presentation, and also the fact that you have shown us the patient, those who have been free from diabetes for several years, and it's important to follow them up. And the other important advice that needs to be given to everybody is that it is the benefit that we see does not persist if the lifestyle goes back to their earlier lifestyle. But once they maintain that lifestyle, it can be maintained for a long period of time, as you have shown in. As you ordered some of those who have been able to maintain that for, as you said, if I can recollect correctly, it is from 2014 onwards, 7 years. There are some of your subjects who have been following, some people who have been following for 7 years and have been free from diabetes. I'm sure all the others could also do that, but it is important that they continue to maintain that lifestyle, and as long as they're able to do this, they're able to be free from diabetes. So the major problem that we see generally is that the belief is that you can achieve reversal within a few months, and then you can forget about it. It's not that. It's that you have to maintain this lifestyle, and that is the most important thing. The consistency is the most important thing, and so I think that is the important message that has to be conveyed, and you're doing it wonderfully. I congratulate you for doing that, and look forward to seeing more and more presentations at various forums from your organization. And I congratulate all the others, all your team, the entire team of yours. I'm sure this is not it's a great team effort, and I congratulate all the team members for the excellent work that is going on.
Absolutely. Big thanks to the entire team who has done this. I come on the forefront, Dr. Malhar comes on the forefront, but it's actually a huge number of people, Dr. Nidhi, Tanmay, and big team of doctors, diet expert, exercise expert, psychologists, everyone. Of course, we can't display results if the sales team doesn't do its job, operations team doesn't do its job. So big thanks to everyone in the back end who are putting this show together. And thanks, Dr. Rakesh Sahay, for your encouragement and also caution that, you know, their fitness needs to be maintained. And the secret is riyaz, nirantarta, lagatar, bar, har bar. You know, like the way Santosh Madhav has been clearing GTT every year for the last 7 years is what should be the goal of everyone. You cleared IGT this year, you should aim for GTT next year. And then once you clear GTT, you maintain your fitness level to keep clearing every year on year. Because the challenge which we also see is life situations. We see marriages all around us right now. It's December time and there's so many temptations. And it doesn't mean that we can't eat sweets, because those who have cleared GTT can easily eat 4, 5, 6 jalebis and keep the sugars below 140. But that's going to be once in a while. You're not going to be doing every day. All right. So you enjoy life, you enjoy the marriages, you enjoy the travel, you enjoy the change of season. And typically when festivals come, we see, you know, people have eaten food that their mother and grandmother has fed them since childhood. And they become very important life situations where, you know, we say, gaadi patri se hat sakti hai. You know, the vehicle kind of goes off track a little bit. But the good thing of FFDS, I always see, is they know how to come back on track. They know how to do the juice feasting quickly. They know how to do the intermittent fasting quickly. They know how to lose that extra weight which has been put on. And we keep recommending not more than 3 kg should be regained back, even if things are going astray, because sometimes stress hits people. Sometimes, you know, some surgeries come up. Sometimes some injuries happen. Don't let more than 3 kg weight gain happen. If you lost weight, don't let more than 3 days go by where you have not exercised, and don't let more than 3 months go away that you've not done your tests. Okay, these are some rule of 3 which we tell everyone. Many people adopt it. Some people miss it because, you know, when you're handling thousands of people, it's difficult to get everyone's attention at the same time and everyone internalize the basics at the same time. But it's a huge number of people who are following and enjoying the fruits and with their family members. And literally, it's a life 2.0 transformation. They come and tell us what all has happened. And we have our offline Muktotsav on 10th of December. You couldn't make it this year, but we would invite you next year, because when you physically meet up with those people and see the transformation story, it's amazing. And Dr. Peter Schwartz, President-elect of IDF, is going to be there. So thank you very much for everyone's memory again. Dr. Rakesh Sahay ji is the President-elect of RSSDI, Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India. And this kind of appreciation coming for all the diabetics and non-diabetics who are watching the program is extremely encouraging. And we thank you very much, sir, for taking out this little precious time and being with us and encouraging us and recognizing us.
Thank you.
Good wishes, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, and good night, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you very much. Great. So from here, we move on to the closing, things, announcements, etc. But what we need to now listen to are some words of encouragement coming from none other than the current president of International Diabetes Federation. And that's Professor Akhtar Hussain. He's the current president. He's a professor of chronic disease and diabetes, Nord University, Norway, actively engaged in diabetes research over 25 years, initiated the primary diabetes prevention program in Bangladesh and Pakistan, involved in various programs related to type 1 diabetes and gestational diabetes, and author of 100+ research articles published in peer-reviewed international journal. I had the pleasure of meeting Professor Akhtar Hussain ji recently in Mumbai at the RSSDI conference, and I was appreciating all the work because I had read about it. And he said, Dr. Pramod, yes, IDF is doing amazing, but I don't want you to feel any small, because what you're doing is crazy amazing. Also, 15,000+ people becoming free is no small task. So over to the tech team for beaming the appreciation of Professor Akhtar Hussain ji, and also follow it up immediately with the appreciation by Dr. Jason Fung. After his educational talk, he give some words of appreciation to the participants, also to FFD. So tech team, over to you for playing both these videos back to back now.
I'm Dr. Hussain. I'm the president of International Diabetes Federation. That the work that is the mukti from diabetes, or the freedom from diabetes, is very, very important, because so far we think that diabetes is a chronic disease that cannot be conquered. So the remission that this work has shown, that this diabetes could actually go to a remission due to the changes of lifestyle, is a kind of unique one, and the results have shown a tremendous impact. People living with diabetes and hypertension for more than 10 years can be actually get rid of this condition, and this is the one of the most important results that we are seeing. So I congratulate the organization for this very innovative and very important work, for not only for patients but for the humanity. As we know that diabetes is a disease that is not really affect one patient, it affects the family, it affects the society, and therefore diabetes is not only a disease, it is, as we say, that it is a developmental issue for a family, a developmental issue for a nation. So any work that is done in order to get rid, or that go at least on remission from this condition, is one of the most important steps so far. So I congratulate the organization and wish all the success that for this organization to be more successful in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to all those who have really taken their disease of type 2 diabetes and taken control of it. I mean, great work trying to reverse it. I mean, anything you can do to make it better is going to have huge impact on your future health. So congratulations to all those who have really successfully taken control of their disease. Good for you. And thanks so much for the people working so hard at Freedom from Diabetes. They have a very big goal of trying to help the world really reverse them from type 2 diabetes. And they've already been successful in over 15,000 people, and that's a stunning number of lives that have been changed. So fantastic work. Thank you so much to those people from Freedom from Diabetes. Thank you.
Dr. Duriya, how are you feeling today?
I mean, I have no words. It's really I'm awestruck. It's like a jaw-dropping thing, the kind of champions we've seen, the kind of transformations we've seen. And I'm sure that each and every one of you watching this live today are equally inspired, are equally amazed, and have probably made a little shift within you that, yes, this is possible. I can reverse, I can gain freedom, I can go into remission, and I can transform my life, change my identity from being a diabetic to being an athlete, and kind of achieving the kind of wonderful things that the champions tonight have achieved. So absolutely inspiring. I think I've kind of got, my goosebumps when I've seen these kind of amazing transformations and the winners. So hearty congratulations to each and every one of you who received an award tonight, as well as to each and every one of you who has been there working on their journey, working on their reversal. So amazing. And not only is that, we had some amazing, inspiring talks, informative talks from Dr. Jason Fung, as well as Dr. Rakesh Sahay, who could join us live. And of course, shortly we had Dr. Banshi Sabuji, as well as some enlightening words from Professor Akhtar Hussain. So,
in fact, are you noticing that, after 10 years, the results which have got demonstrated in a way, and of course, it's the participants who have done it because they've listened and they've followed. So I really want to thank all the participants who have created the shift in their health and life, because of whom the recognition is following. Because you do what you do in terms of transformation inside you, and then, we get the appreciation. Of course, FFD and many of us have been involved in creating the program, upgrading it, making it happen, communicating it. But it's an amazing joint effort, and I really want to thank each one of them who works hard and creates that shift in their health. And that is what is going ripples across the world. One GTT champion can actually inspire minimum 100 diabetics that, okay, even I can be free, even I can be like him. And so many cities, so many countries, people are doing it. So thank you, all the winners and non-winners and everyone. Thanks to the team, and thanks to all the big stalwarts. It's like a dream come true for me, because 2013 we started so small, slowly growing, and getting Dr. Jason Fung to talk with us, getting Dr. Cadwell SL's team to talk with us, getting Dr. Roy Giller to talk with us, getting Dr. Neet Bana to talk with us and the community, and getting now all the endocrinologists, diabetologists in India who are heading big institutes thank us, recognize us, appreciate us, is literally nothing less than dream coming true. So, and big thanks to the team, to everyone around. Great job done. Boys and girls, it's time to be super proud and super humble and supercharged for much more work.
Absolutely. Yes. And well, I would say that this is just the beginning of the celebrations. Yes, this was the online Muktotsav. And very soon on the 10th of December, we are having the offline Muktotsav, where you can soak into the high and absolutely charged energies when you meet people face to face, greet them, and of course get to eat some lovely things too, and get inspired, get motivated, and it's amazing energies to soak in and connect heart to heart, and revitalize yourself, get back on track, get motivated even more. And the energies are something so beautiful that each and every one of you listening, watching, must make sure that you attend in person. So we have registrations still on. Yes, so make sure if you're not registered to go ahead and register. The link is there beneath in the description. It's free, but we need your registrations to be able to make the arrangements properly. And believe me, I've been part of the Muktotsav, the offline and online Muktotsav, since the last 8 years. And every Muktotsav is so highly charged, and this year also there is a lot of action, a lot of energies, and a lot of fun all together. And we have none other than Dr. Peter Schwartz, who's gracing as chief guest. He's the president-elect of the International Diabetes Federation, and coming in all the way from Germany to be part of this very, very special mega annual event, the Muktotsav. So we definitely look forward to having each and every one of you here.
And Durya, it's like a booster dose for everyone who comes over there, whether they are a champion, award winner, or just a newly diagnosed diabetic, or don't know anything about reversal. Because when you meet everyone over there, hug them, maybe take some selfies with them, it's very interesting, kind of an energy exchange and fond memory created for life. So everyone's invited for that. And they say there is no free lunch, but this time at Muktotsav, there is free lunch. Because we found that people are having inertia and lethargy to come all the way at times within the city, within Pune city. Okay, people will come from out of country. There are some people who are coming from Australia and US, participants, maybe from Middle East also. We have to just take a look at the numbers. But even Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, a lot of them will come from out of station. But Pune people at times have lethargy, inertia. So come on, shake the lethargy, inertia, take time out, come there. There's actual free lunch over there, good food, good gathering, good music, and amazing energy exchange for everyone. So yes, that's it from our end. Both of us, Dr. Durya, Dr. Pramod, Dr. Malhar, and the entire team which was here. Anything else you want to say before we close, Dr. Durya?
Yes, just in case some of you are wondering and how to want to connect with Freedom from Diabetes or to watch the Discover Reversal session, just to let you know that we have 2 programs coming up on the 2nd of December and the 9th of December. So before the 10th of December date, if some of you still want to connect and watch the program and register for it, the link is also there in the description below. And we have the 104th TRP happening on the 20th to the 27th of December too. So those from any part of the country, any part of the world who would like to come and join in and work and fast track and work on themselves, the residential program registrations are also open. And I look forward to meeting each and every one of you in person at the offline event happening in Pune at the Ganesh Kala Krida Manch from 10 in the morning till 12:30, followed by lunch, of course, and a fantastic gathering, fantastic energies, and welcoming you all with open arms and open hearts. So that's
Great.
Yes.
Thanks, Dr. Duria, for that amazing, energetic, beginning and closing. And we look forward to seeing many at Muktotsav. More than 1,500 people are expected over there. So see you, everyone. Let's do a bye-bye together. Bye-bye and bye-bye and bye.